Hello, it's Thursday and welcome back to the Daily Draw with the grandparents. Today we're going to be drawing a beautiful crocus, so get your paintings out, maybe get FaceTime on to Granny and we're going to start this gorgeous picture. Okay, so I'm going to start working on my crocus and I'm going to start by working from the left to the right of the crocus. So I'm going to start with this outside petal on the left and I'm coming in with one curve there and I'm going to get this one to curve all the way like that. I'm then going to draw the second one, so I'm going to first of all bring this down and then I'm going to do a second petal. I'm just going to start with a bit of a wavy-ish line and then I've not done enough of a curve there. And then I'm going to bring big curve again, just like that. And I'm going to bring this petal to about here and I'm going to start on the third one. Just going to come quite high up, again, little wobbly lines. And I'm going to curve this one like that. And I don't really want it to be that straight, so I'm just going to curve like that. And then don't have to worry about this last one. I'm going to just curve it right around like that, and then I'm going to do a final little petal here, which I'm just going to bring all like that. So that is our first step. So if you can get that down on your watercolor paper. So for this second step, the first thing I'm going to do is start on this last one and I'm going to bring another line to join it up there, just to make it look a bit more three-dimensional. I'm then going to do a big petal in the middle, like this, and then another one coming up this side, just like that. Then the last thing I'm going to do on this step is the stalk, so I'm going to bring these quite close together, bring it down, and then I'm going to draw a diagonal line and bring that all the way down. And that is our second step. All right, for our third step, I'm just going to start by this middle petal. Here, I'm just going to put a few wiggly lines, just like that. I'm then going to come down and do the grass, and I'm just going to do big long stalks, trying to do big straight lines, like this. I'm going to start on the other side, and here. And now I'm going to move on and paint this using my watercolor pencil. So with my watercolor pencils, I'm going to start with a purple, and all I'm going to do with the purple is outline the petals that we've made for the crocus. So I'm not going to colour in. I'll show you which bits to colour in once I've finished outlining, but the key thing here is just doing these lovely flowing strokes for our crocus. I'm going to come up to the top part as well, and this last little one here. Okay, so I am going to colour in this tiny little triangle here, really not too dark though. I'm holding my pencil very lightly, and I'm just going to do this little bit too, but again, very light. It doesn't have to be covering all of it. I'm then going to take my blue and I'm going to quite lightly put this on the petals. There we go, and I'm then going to take my paintbrush and start to turn this to paint. So if you haven't used watercolor pencils before, just taking my water, dipping my paintbrush in, and when I bring it to the pencil marks I've made, they should turn to paint. And what we should get is this lovely blue colour that has slight bits of purple in it from the outline. And if you want it lighter, we just add lots more water so we get a nice lighter colour. At the bottom, I'm just going to take my paintbrush while it's still wet, and I'm going to bring this bit down to where we've got that diagonal line. I'm just going to finish up with this bit. For this top part that we've coloured in purple, we want to leave the little squiggly line part that we did. We want to leave that because we're going to come on and do that in the second part of the painting. Okay, so now that I've got almost all of the actual flower part done, I'm going to move on to this bit. And the first thing I'm going to do is just take my blue and do an outline of this part of the stem. I am going to add a little bit of green, but really not much at all. I'm then going to outline the stalks, trying to replicate the big flowing lines that I had when I started my drawing. Then going to come on to this side, just do the same. And I've made my pieces of grass quite big, so I'm going to do a few bits of green in there, just because I don't think the outline is going to be enough, but you don't have to. So I'm going to take my paintbrush and try very carefully to paint as neatly as I can. And this side. The nice thing about this painting is it has such flowing lines, so the petals we want to really just flow. It doesn't matter if they're not perfect, and the same with the grass. I really like that about this picture. Alright, so that is the bottom part done, and as you can see, when I added some water to the blue part of the stem, it kind of went a bit greeny blue because we had some green already on our brush. So the final thing I'm going to do is just this little part in the middle here. I'm going to put some orange down and then a bit of yellow as well. And I am going to add some water to this, but I'm only going to add very, very little amount. Just like that. And that is our finished crocus. Hope you really enjoyed that picture. Remember, we love seeing your drawings, so please send them in to us. Comment on our Facebook post, send them to us on Instagram or on Twitter. We just love seeing all your beautiful work. Mum's going to be back tomorrow, where she's going to be doing an amazing painting from the Bee movie. It's going to be so good. I promise you're going to love it. And I'm going to be back next week with Draw with the Grandparents, and I'm going to be doing something a little bit different that I have asked Mum especially for, so keep an eye out.